Hey guys, November 25th, 2025. I got a call from Nervous Nellie. She's an older lady living by herself, and she's got an oil boiler there, and I guess she says there's water in the cup. Sounds like it's coming down from the 9D, the backflow preventer, filling up the cup. So she called me last night in a panic. Said she would call me in the morning, which is, she called me 8 o'clock in the morning. I told her I'd go by there, and she gets all nervous about stuff where, you know, overreacting to something simple, right? That's why I call her Nervous Nellie. But we'll go by there and see if we can find out what's going on over there and see if we can fix it for her. A couple of things can cause that to malfunction. If there's a pressure differential in the street, like if they're flushing the water mains or something like that, and they're getting a lot of action in the water mains, it could cause that backflow to leak. There's a little check valve inside the pressure reducing valve, and then there's water that goes through the 9D, which is the backflow preventer. And if there's a differential in pressure, you know, sometimes it'll leak out the 9D. Or if there's some shit in there or some dirt on a seat. I usually like to take them apart, give them a good flush, check them out, give them a good cleaning, and put them back in and see if they're leaking. Because if they're leaking, they usually don't stop leaking if the rubber's bad in there, right? So, but if that, we'll have to wait and see when I get over there if that's even the case. But that's my my thoughts going into this job, my game plan. If it is what I think it is. We'll give you some shots over there. She had to dump this cup. That's the 9D. There is a check valve in here. That should stop it from backfilling. She said it was full. We'll probably take it apart and see. We'll probably take it apart and see what it looks like. Alright, so I got the water off. And I should be able to take it apart, and there should be a check, and that shouldn't be backing up. Sometimes it gets dirty. I got a bucket here. See if I can. I get a little bit of dribble out of it, but it shouldn't be a crazy amount. I did hit the feeder, so I know it's feeding water. There's gaskets in there. We gotta make sure we don't lose them. This little gaskets. See them gaskets? We don't want to lose them. Put this shit in there. I'm gonna give that a cleaning. We know there's a rubber check valve in here. I know that's working because it's not. Look at the shit in there. Yeehaw. Yeah, you still got feelings. I gave it a good cleaning upstairs in the sink. We'll see what happens now. I'll put this thing back together. see if it... Gotta make sure these gaskets go back in. They do make green gaskets. I got some in the truck. They're green ones. We'll liven it back up and we'll see if it leaks. Usually if they leak, they leak. They don't stop leaking. You can't plug this because it'll leak out the side. There's little rivets on the back. We know that. Alright. It shouldn't be dripping. Sometimes you gotta clean them out. I did take this pot out and I made sure there was no shit in there and there's a gasket in there. Alright, that looks good. I don't see it dripping. I don't want to sell her another one unless she needs it. Sometimes you need a good bath. You need a good shower once in a while. You know? Good pressure there. They could be flushing the water mains in the street, you know, that's possible. I don't see it dripping. I ain't gonna change it. Alright, removed and flushed out 9D backflow preventer. I have changed that. I have changed that back on 22, so that was 3.5 years ago. I replaced the water feeder. There was quite a bit of shit in there, considering quite a bit of stuff in there for 2.5 years. It might have been flushing the water mains out in the street yesterday. It's possible.